There it is. Good afternoon or good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, September 14th, 2023. And welcome to my week 2 NFL picks, both straight up against the spread. We'll also be taking a look at the announcers for all 16 NFL games this week, the maps for all the Sunday afternoon games, and my week 2 power rankings. So if you want to take a look at those maps for yourself, just log on to www.506sports.com and hit the NFL tab on the homepage, and then just scroll down to week 2, and then the maps will be right there. Now, these maps are subject to change, so make sure you check back in with them throughout the rest of the week going into this weekend for any or all changes. Okay, before we get to my picks, let's take a look at the week 2 power rankings. If you missed them on Tuesday during the season premiere of the week that was, here they are once again. At number 32, staying in the same spot, is the Arizona Cardinals. Also staying in the same spot at 31 is the Indianapolis Colts. The Chicago Bears are at number 30, previously at 28. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at number 29, previously at 30. The Carolina Panthers fall to number 28, previously at 25. The Denver Broncos are at number 27, previously at 24. Moving up are the Houston Texans to number 26, previously at 27. Our biggest drop this week goes to the New York Giants at number 25, previously at 15. At number 24 is the Las Vegas Raiders, previously at 26. Unchanged at number 23 are the Washington Commanders. Slipping down a spot is the Tennessee Titans to number 22, previously 21. The biggest jump this week goes to the Los Angeles Rams at number 21, previously at 29. In fact, they're tied for the biggest jump with another team. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at number 20, previously at 18. Then it's the Atlanta Falcons at number 19, previously 22. At 18 is the New Orleans Saints, previously 19. 17 is the Los Angeles Chargers, previously 11. Unchanged at 16 is the Minnesota Vikings. At 15 is the Green Bay Packers, previously at 20. Number 14 is the Seattle Seahawks, previously 9. 13 is the New England Patriots, previously at 14. Holding steady at 12 is the Miami Dolphins. Number 11 is the Detroit Lions, previously 13th. Jacksonville Jaguars hold steady at 10. The Cleveland Browns, of course, tying the LA Rams for the biggest jump this week at number 9, previously at 17. So both teams moved up 8 spots this week. The Buffalo Bills are down to number 8, previously at number 5. The New York Jets are at 7, previously 8. The Cincinnati Bengals dropped to number 6, previously 2. Baltimore Ravens are at number 5, previously 7. The Philadelphia Eagles are at number 4, previously 3. Last week's number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs, are down to number 3. The Dallas Cowboys are at number 2, previously 6. And the San Francisco 49ers top our week 2 power rankings at number 1, previously at number 4. All right, so those are my week 2 power rankings. Now let's dive in to my picks for week number 2, and we're going to kick things off with Thursday Night Football, which is happening in about 2 hours as the 0-1 Minnesota Vikings travel to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia to face the 1-0 Eagles. Tonight at 8:15 Eastern on Prime Video. The announcers are Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, with sideline reports from Kaylee Hartung. Now, this game will be blacked out on Prime Video in both the Twin Cities and Philadelphia. So this game will be broadcast over the air on KMSP Fox 9 in the Twin Cities and WTXF Fox 29 in Philadelphia. Current point spread is Philadelphia -6 and the over-under is 49.5. I'm taking the Eagles to win their home opener 31-17. I have the game finishing slightly under the 49.5 points, and I'm taking the Eagles -6. All right, that brings us now to our Sunday afternoon games, starting off with a battle in the AFC North with the 1-0 Baltimore Ravens at the 0-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. The announcers are Andrew Catalon, Tiki Barber, and Matt Ryan, with sideline reports from AJ Ross. All right, this game is shaded in green on the CBS early map on 506sports.com. Again, these maps are subject to change, so check back with them throughout the rest of the week for any changes. And there is a link in my description box below that you can check those maps out for yourself. Outside of Baltimore and Cincinnati, major markets getting this game include Louisville, Baton Rouge, Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., Richmond, and Norfolk. Current point spread is Cincinnati -3.5, and the over-under is 45.5. I'm taking the Bengals to win straight up 24-21. I have the game going just slightly under 45.5 points. But I'm taking Baltimore plus 3.5 ATS. Up next, it's the 0-1 Chicago Bears and the 1-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fresh off of Sunday's upset win at the Minnesota Vikings. This game is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The announcers for this game are Joe Davis, Darryl the Moose Johnston, and sideline reporter Pam Oliver. This game is shaded in blue in the 506 on the Fox map, I should say, on 506sports.com. Only one other major market outside of Chicago and Tampa Bay is getting this game, and that's Tallahassee, Florida. So it's a very limited coverage area. Current point spread is Tampa Bay -2.5, and the over-under is at 41. I'm taking the Buccaneers over the Bears 24-16. I have the game finishing 1 point under the total. And I'm taking the Bucks -2.5 ATS. Up next is the team the Bears lost to, the 1-0 Green Bay Packers, as they visit the 1-0 Atlanta Falcons down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The announcers are Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and sideline reporter Shannon Spake. This game is shaded in yellow on the Fox map at 506sports.com, and this has the largest coverage area of any Fox game this week. Outside of Atlanta and Green Bay, this game will also be seen in Milwaukee and Madison, as well as Salt Lake City, Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, El Paso, Dallas, Fort Worth, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Omaha, Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, St. Louis, Memphis, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Birmingham, Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh-Durham, Norfolk, Richmond, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Boston, and Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Current point spread is Green Bay -1, over under is 40.5. I'm taking the Packers to win this game 27-20. I have the game shooting over 40.5 points, and I'm taking Green Bay -1 against the spread. All right, the Colts will be playing their second division rival in as many weeks as they face off with the Houston Texans down at NRG Stadium. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The announcers for this game are Chris Myers, Robert Smith, and sideline reporter Jennifer Hale. And this is a pretty limited coverage area. It's shaded in light blue on the Fox map at 506sports.com. Outside of Indianapolis and Houston, there are only 3 other major markets getting this game: Austin, San Antonio, and Louisville. Current point spread is Indianapolis -1.5, and the over-under is at 39.5. I initially took the Texans in this game, but I changed my mind, so I'm going with the Colts now at 23-17. The game finishing slightly over 39.5 points, and I have the Colts -1.5. Next up is a rematch of the AFC Divisional Playoff from last January, as the 0-1 Kansas City Chiefs look to get in the win column for the first time, taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-0. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. All right, this game shaded in red on the CBS early map on 506sports.com, as this week CBS has the doubleheader. Outside of Kansas City and Jacksonville, other markets getting this game include Denver, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, El Paso, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, Shreveport, New Orleans, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Omaha, St. Louis, Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Green Bay, Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Indianapolis, Birmingham, Atlanta, Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh-Durham, Philadelphia, Tallahassee, Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Miami, Fort Lauderdale, as well as Alaska and Hawaii. The announcers for this game will be Ian Eagle and Charles Davis, with sideline reports from Evan Washburn. Current point spread is Kansas City -3.5, and your over-under is sitting at 51. This is the game where the Chiefs bounce back. It's going to be a tough one, but they'll bounce back here. I have Kansas City winning 28-24. Got the game finishing 1 point over 51, and I'm taking the Chiefs -3.5. Next up, the 1-0 Las Vegas Raiders, fresh off of Sunday's win in Denver. They're headed up to Orchard Park to face the 0-1 Buffalo Bills, who had a rough night at the office against the Jets on Monday night, despite the Aaron Rodgers injury that has been talked about ad nauseum over the past few days. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. The announcers for this game will be Kevin Harlan and Trent Green, with sideline reports from Melanie Collins. This game is shaded in dark blue on the CBS early map on 506sports.com. With the additions of the game being aired in Las Vegas and Buffalo, it will also be seen in Seattle, Spokane, Portland, Boise, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, Phoenix, Tucson, Salt Lake City, Syracuse, Albany, Boston, Providence, Hartford, and New York City. Current point spread is Buffalo -9.5, and the over-under is at 47. Personally, I don't think the Bills will cover that massive point spread, but I'm taking them to win straight up 34-27. Got the game shooting over 47 points, and I'm taking Las Vegas plus the 9.5. Next up, pair of 0-1 teams battling in Nashville as the Tennessee Titans host the Los Angeles Chargers. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. The announcers for this game will be Tom McCarthy, Jay Feely, and James Lofton, with sideline reports from Tiffany Blackman. This game will be shaded in yellow on the CBS early map on 506sports.com. Outside of LA and Nashville, this game will also be seen in San Diego, Memphis, Knoxville, and Chattanooga. So this is pretty much confined to basically the whole state of Tennessee and in Southern California. Current point spread is the Chargers -3 and the over-under at 45. I have Tennessee winning this game outright 23-20. I have the game going under the over-under of 45, I should say. And I have Tennessee pushing the spread ATS at +3. Up next, it's the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. And this is the last of the early games, in which there are 8 in total. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox, the Seahawks come in 0-1 after their loss to the Rams, while the Lions still flying high after last Thursday night's upset win over the Chiefs in the kickoff game. They are 1-0 entering this one. Again, this game is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The broadcast team will be Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson, with sideline reports from Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi. This game shaded in red on the Fox map at 506sports.com. Outside of Seattle and Detroit, this game will be seen in Spokane, Boise, Portland, Grand Rapids, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and in Alaska. Current point spread is Detroit -4.5, over-under is 47. And there are some injury concerns with the Seahawks. I think they said DK Metcalf is hurt. He may play, but I'm not sure if he will. But either way, I have the Lions winning 30-20 after game shooting over 47. And I'm taking the Lions -4.5. Okay, that brings us to our late games. There are 4 of those. 2 games start at 4:05 Eastern. The other 2 will start 20 minutes later. The first game we'll look at is the New York Giants 0-1 at the Arizona Cardinals, also 0-1. Of course, we all know what happened to the Giants last week. They got smoked at home by the Dallas Cowboys 40-0. While the Arizona Cardinals played surprisingly well in a 2016 loss to the Commanders in DC. This game is Sunday at 4:05 Eastern on Fox. The announcers for this game will be Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, and sideline reporter Christina Pink. This is the same team that did the Arizona-Washington game last week. Outside of New York and Phoenix, this game will also be seen in Tucson, Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, Providence, and Hartford. So a limited coverage area for this one. Current point spread is New York -5.5. Over under is 40. I got the G-Men taking this one 31-13. Got the game shooting over 40 points. And I'm taking the Giants -5.5. Then you've got a divisional clash in the NFC West as the 1-0 San Francisco 49ers, who blitzkrieged the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, They're headed to SoFi to face the 1-0 Los Angeles Rams, who also had a big win on Sunday last week against the Seahawks. Sunday at 4:05 Eastern on Fox. The announcers for this game will be Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez, with sideline reports from Laura Oakman. Outside of LA and San Francisco, this game will also be seen in Reno, Sacramento, San Diego, Las Vegas, Kansas City, Nashville, Cincinnati, Columbus, Baltimore, and Jacksonville, as well as Hawaii. Current point spread is San Francisco -8, over unders 44.5. I think the Rams are going to fall back to earth this week, so give me the Niners 35-20. Got the game going well over 44.5, and I'm taking San Fran -8. That brings us to game 2 of CBS's doubleheader. Starting things off, the 1-0 New York Jets, who lost Aaron Rodgers with an Achilles tear for the season, but won against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. They're off to Jerry World to face the 1-0 Dallas Cowboys, who pitched a 40-point shutout at the Meadowlands against the Giants. Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on CBS, as the Cowboys look to make it a sweep of the 2 New York teams to kick the season off. The announcers for this game will be Jim Nantz and former Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo, with sideline reports from Tracy Wolfson. Now this is the game shaded in red on the CBS late map on 506sports.com. So a big chunk of the country will be getting this game. Besides New York and Dallas-Fort Worth, this game will be seen in the following markets. Strap yourselves in, because this is a long list. Seattle, Spokane, Boise, Portland, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Tucson, El Paso, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha, Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Green Bay, Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, Indianapolis, Louisville, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, Boston, Providence, Hartford, Philadelphia, Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, Birmingham, Atlanta, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and will also be seen in Alaska and Hawaii. All right, the current point spread in this game is Dallas -9.5, but the over-under is only at 37.5. I'm taking them boys to win this one 24-17. I have the game going over 37.5. But I have the Jets covering plus 9.5 points. And then the last Sunday afternoon game is the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos. The Commanders are actually 1-0. I have them written down as 0-1, but they beat the Cardinals last week. The Broncos, with a lack of offense, fell to the Raiders at home last week. Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on CBS. The announcers for this game are Spiro Ditas and Adam Archuleta, with sideline reports by Aditi Kinkhabwala. Outside of Denver and DC, this game is also being seen in Salt Lake City, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, Wichita, Baltimore, Richmond, and Norfolk, which means this game will be seen in areas that will not get the Jets and Cowboys. Current point spread is Denver at -3.5 for some strange reason. Why Vegas? Over under is set at 39. I think given the fact that the Broncos cannot score points, the Commanders' defense is going to have a field day against Russell Wilson. That said, I'm taking Washington 27-12. I have the game pushing the 39 points, and I'm taking the Commanders minus 3.5. All right. Sunday Night Football features an AFC Eastern Division rivalry. The 1-0 Miami Dolphins, who won by far the most exciting game in Week 1, a 36-34 shootout against the Chargers. They are off to Foxborough to face the 0-1 New England Patriots, who, despite outplaying the Philadelphia Eagles last week, they ended up losing. Sunday at 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC. The announcers for this game will be Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, with sideline reports from Melissa Stark. Current point spread is Miami minus 3, and the over-under is at 46.5. Now the Patriots, they have some injury issues just as they did last week against the Eagles. I think they said 3 of their starters on the offensive line did not play Sunday against Philly, and it looks like they probably won't this week against the Dolphins. That said, I'm taking Miami 24-20. I have the game going under 46.5, and I'm taking Miami minus the 3. And then you have 2 Monday night games this week. The first is the New Orleans Saints at 1-0, and the Carolina Panthers at 0-1. Monday at 7:15 Eastern on ESPN. Now, this game will be blacked out in the Charlotte and New Orleans markets. So the game will be seen over the air on WDSU Channel 6 New Orleans and WAXN Channel 64 in Charlotte. The announcers for this game will be Chris Fowler, Dan Orlovsky, Louis Riddick, and sideline reporter Laura Rutledge. Current point spread is the Saints minus 3, and the over-under is at 39.5. And this is the first home game for the number 1 overall pick in the draft, Carolina's Bryce Young. But given how well this defense played against the Titans last week, I think the trend continues this week. I'm taking the Saints to win 26-17. I have the game finishing just over 39.5 points. And I'm taking New Orleans minus the 3. And then the second Monday night game will be the last game of week number 2, as the Cleveland Browns, who had a dominant display against the Cincinnati Bengals last week, face off with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got blasted at home by the 49ers. Cleveland comes into this game 1-0, while Pittsburgh is 0-1. And this is Monday at 8:15 Eastern on ABC. The announcers will be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, with sideline reports from Lisa Salters. Current point spread is Cleveland minus 2, over-under is 38.5. Now, ESPN released this graphic during the Jets game on Monday night, and it talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers having won 20 straight Monday night football games at home. I think the streak ends this week. Give me the Browns 28-13. I have the game going over 38.5 points, and I'm taking the Browns minus 2. And those are my week 2 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. Hopefully I can get more than 9 victories this week. I went 9-7, both straight up and against the spread, and I'm expecting big things this week. We also looked at the maps for all the Sunday afternoon games, plus the announcers for all 16 games. And at the top of this video, I ran down my week 2 power rankings for those who didn't join me on Tuesday. And so that is it. We are all set for week number 2 in the National Football League. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin tonight and this weekend. Peace out.